Hey guys, thanks for watching. I posted this video a few weeks ago and have received some interest from individuals wanting to know more details about my DIY one-wheel build. My schedule has been very busy and I have never done this before, so thanks for the patience. This video will not get into the nitty-gritty detail, but will provide the basic steps to converting a used hoverboard to a fully functional DIY one-wheel for less than $200. Also, I have to mention Zblab out of Poland for the inspiration for this project. I've been thinking it was possible to build a one-wheel clone out of a hoverboard for a while now, and its top-notch project with CNC and welded aluminum components proved my hypothesis. I wanted a build that was a bit more approachable without the need for specialized metal fabrication. I hope you guys enjoy this, so let's get into it. Step 1. Buy a cheap used hoverboard. It doesn't matter what kind of condition it is in, but it needs to work and have the 6.5-inch 350 watt wheels. It also needs the 36 volt 4.4 amp hour lithium battery, and it needs to be a model that has 3 printed circuit boards versus 2. 2 of the circuit boards are gyro sensors and 1 is the motor controller. This is the one I started with. It was $50 off of Craigslist. Alright, step 2. So disassemble the hoverboard. Take care not to damage any connectors or electronics and keep track of what plugs into what. Now is also a good time to remove the rubber tires from the wheels. It's worth noting here that I will refer to some of the components with regards to their proximity to the battery. This is important because the motor and the gyro sensor on the battery side have longer cables. Also, the motor from the non-battery side will need to be rewired. Okay, the next few steps will require you to rewire the hoverboard to cause the wheels to spin in the same direction when the axles are facing out, with a signal from only one of the gyro sensors. The gyro signal wires are the first thing to rewire. To do this, the blue and the green wires to the non-battery side gyro sensor need to be cut and spliced into the blue and green wires on the battery side gyro sensor signal wires. This will ensure that both motors are receiving the same input from one gyro sensor and will run in synchrony. The next rewire will be the phase wires of the non-battery motor. This is part of the rewiring that will enable the motor to spin properly in the opposite direction. Due to manufacturing variances, the color combination could be different on your hoverboard, but for mine, the yellow stayed connected with the yellow and the blue was switched to green and the green was connected to the blue. The hall sensor wires for the non-battery motor need to be rewired as well. Again, this could be different on your hoverboard, but for mine, the only wires that changed were the blue wire to the yellow wire, and then the yellow wire to the blue wire. And this completes the rewiring. Now, to test the function. You can see to test the function, I mocked up a basic system with the motors facing each other, with the axles facing out, just as in the final assembly. I also created a stick on a pivot that mimicked the change in the angle the gyro sensor would see while riding. What might be hard to see is that I mounted the gyro sensor on one end of the piece of wood with the optical sensor triggered to keep it on. This is exactly how it should work. Both motors should spin smoothly. Something isn't right if their motion is jerky or loud, and if they're spinning the opposite directions. Alright, next, both aluminum axle mounts will need to be cut out of the aluminum hoverboard chassis. A Dremel tool with a cutting blade works fine. Take caution to ensure the rectangular shape is preserved. Next, use a file to clean up the rough edges and to square the sides of the aluminum axle mounts. Next, print the rim. I used the cheapest PLA I could buy, and my little brother printed it on his Creality Ender 3. I think eventually I had to print it with 100% infill, but I'm experimenting with 20% infill for the rim on my latest model. However, it is essential to print the 2 beadlock sections with 100% infill, as they see a fair amount of force generated from the pressure of the tire sidewall, as evidenced by some of the epoxy and fiberglass reinforcement you might see with an earlier version of the rim. Assemble the motors into the rim. Take caution to keep track of which motor is the battery side motor and which motor is the non-battery side motor to ensure they are hooked up to the correct wires during assembly. The 6 screws on each motor which keep the motor plate attached will need to be replaced with longer screws. Next, you will have to grind the small lip off both axles. This will enable the axle to not have to be mounted all the way into the mount and will give the wires space to come out of the axle and make the turn to the controller. The front corner of the steel axle mount will need to be ground away to enable the wires to pass between the bolt and the aluminum channel during assembly. The cut will be about 2 millimeters deep and should go halfway through the hole. You will notice it in a couple pictures. Okay, this was the tricky part for me that took some problem solving. The rim is not airtight, so I had to use an inner tube, but I was having trouble with the inner tubes popping until I used a flexible valve stem extension to position the valve stem of the inner tube in the center line of the rim axle assembly. I still have small issues with the valve stem extension pinching off at times, but that might be resolved with the braided steel valve stem extension. Next step is to attach the mounts to the axles. Notice the notch that was mentioned in slide 12. This allows the wires to pass between the bolt and the aluminum channel and should be pointing to the front of the Onewheel. You will need 2 695mm C channels, which are 1.5 inch by 3/4 of an inch by 1/8 inch for the rails. Mark the middle of the channels. Use the motor mounts to determine where the holes for the bolts should be drilled. Take caution to ensure the mounts sit flush with the inside of the rail before drilling the holes. The holes will need to be drilled for the power button and the charge port as well. I recommend making these holes 85 millimeters from the end of the front of each rail, directly in the middle of the rail. Okay, for step 16, wire extensions will have to be soldered onto the phase and hall sensor wires for the non-battery side motor to allow them to reach the motor controller once finally assembled. Okay, now the fun part. Build foot platforms. I used bits of scrap wood laying around my garage, and once I got the packaging right, it worked great. But it will take some creativity on your part. Remember, the rear should accommodate the 36-volt battery and the front should house the electronics. In my first version, the electronics were a tight fit. I only utilized one of the optical sensors on the gyro sensor. Don't forget to integrate the foot sensor onto the front foot platform. Alright, now you've finally done it. Go out and enjoy your creation. I must say this has been such a rewarding DIY project. It functions surprisingly well. Is it a well-engineered piece of machinery that the real Onewheel is? No way. But it's so much fun and you can build it for less than $200. I haven't done any official range tests yet, but I believe mine will easily do 4 miles and can cruise around 6 to 8 miles per hour. I'm sure it will go faster, but I'm not brave enough to lean it that far over. One of my future plans will be to construct a 48-volt battery to replace the 36-volt battery. Based on the capacitors on the motor controller, I believe it can handle it. I think this will give it greater range and improve the ride characteristics, as less lean should be needed for a given speed. Finally, the most exciting part of this project for me is the next step. I'm designing 3D printable foot platforms that easily accommodate the electronics, wires, and battery, and it will omit the need to design and build the foot pads, so stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy.